All right, guys, so I'm going to try to get all the performs out to you today or tomorrow just so that you've got those to study for the test. Today we're looking at Roman numerals right now. So there's 10 challenges. We've got one riddle in the middle of it, but otherwise that's how it is. Again, I'll remind your attention, or I'll call your attention to up here. In the skeleton, we also have starter code. So this is an array I'm giving you. Okay, so that's required to be there so that you get the right answers. One, note the bold section again tells us to do so. Okay, so even less. Okay. One, print the number of elements. Okay, cool. We know that the number of elements is generated automatically with the length. There we go. Number 4, print the number of strings in str that end in an E. Okay, so we've got a couple of words up here. So we just want the first letter of each string. Okay, so for that we need a for loop. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to check each word to see if the last letter is an E, and if it is, we print the first letter. Okay, so here's our for loop. That's going to go through my array, no problem. So I guess we're ready for our if test. Okay, so I've got the word, str bracket I, and I want to see if the last letter. Okay, so that's going to be substring. And then what I can do, I'm going to make another variable. Call it end, which is str.length. No bracket I.length -1. Okay, so this is going to take the individual string that we're on inside the array and grab me that last letter. Okay. Oh, I have to give the value. There you go. So this I'm using just to keep my substring shorter. I could put this entire thing in there for end and replace it again. It's just easier. So if inside the array, I take the substring of the last letter and I set it equal to E. If that's true, then I'm going to print (0, 1) because I only want that one letter. Okay. Let's get a spacer line in there. All right. We'll check them every 3 or so. Okay. Oh no, I missed. Ooh, I combined them. Okay, let's try this again. Number 3, print the first letter of each string separated by a space and on the same line. So, wrong code here. Probably going to use that code, so let's just go ahead. Okay, so this one prints just the first letter automatically, separated by a space of each word in substring. That's 3. Print the number of strings that end in an E. Okay, so in this case, tweak this code because most of it's fine. I do need a counter. That's fine, that's fine. And then inside here, count goes up by 1. There you go. So that's what it actually wants. So we read through the array, use this to grab our last letter. If the last letter is an E, we increase the count, and then we just want a number. And let's do a quick check. Okay, 8 elements. There's all the capital letters. Got a spacer there. And then 2 end in E. And we can check that very easily. We've got goodbye. We've got science. Good. Number 5. Print the total number of characters in all strings in the console. Okay, total characters. So it's going to be very similar to what we have right here. So I'm just going to steal that. So there's our chars. We start at 0. That's going to read the whole thing. That's going to do that. I don't need any characters here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add each of those strings. So str bracket I dot LNGH. I calculate that each time. I plug it into chars, and I'm done. So and yes, I specifically added an S to char so that I don't get any kind of error because char is a reserved word. Okay. Since it is a data type. 6. Print to length 7 exclamation if at least 2 strings have an str of length more than 7. So each of these, they're not exactly building on one another, but they're doing something close. Again, I'm going to use that same for loop. All right. So if the length is necessary, okay, so if per each index, length right there, is greater than equal to 7, 7 goes up. I'm sure that's what it wants. 2 length 7 length 2 length of 7 or more, under if not. Okay. That's all the for loop will do. Okay, if then equal to okay, so if 7 is greater than or equal to 2, and I've got that. Ooh. That didn't copy that. Okay, fine. I'll do it the whole way. Okay, 2 length 7 exclamation. Alternative being under 2 length 7. And there's spacer. 7's the riddle. Print the number of strings in str that contain an E. Oh, that contain. So it's not exactly what we had coded earlier, but it is going to be very similar. Actually, we'll just go from scratch. Okay, so that's going to read through the whole array. We just want to see if it has an E at all. Oh, there we go. We're going to need a nested for loop. Okay. J comma J plus 1 dot do an ignore case just because really. There's an off chance it could start with E, so that's fine. The only thing I'm seeing as an issue right now is that I want to make sure that it only adds 1. Oh, that's fine. Got it. So I need my counter. Okay. Counter goes up by 1, and then I just break out of my inner loop, which will end this one, which means I go to the next word. Okay. Okay. And last but not least, there's a 10. Print no O's if none of the strings contain an O character, or at least one O if not. So that's going to be very similar to what I just did here. This time I'm looking for O's. O is 0. It's going to read the whole thing. That's going to read there. If anything equals O. Actually, this one can just be a Boolean. Let's see. O is now equal to true. Breaks unnecessary, but in here, nope, it's still inside. In here, if O, and I break. All right, so now we get our text. No O's. O's. See if I got right. No O's, exclamation. It's one O. All right. Last one, and then we'll run through all of them. Number 10. Have you ever heard of a magic 8-ball? It uses a list of answers, chooses a random value. Write this code with Java, Wikipedia. Use a list of magic 8-balls. Just choose at least 5 or make your own. Generate a random number in which you will respond to the list. Okay, well, I'm not going to make a list, so I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I'll get you started. Up here with my other objects, I get my random. Okay, so there's RNG, it exists down here. Int, so mag8, actually, that'll be strings. Okay, so there's a place for you to put 8 responses. It's actually 20 inside the inside a magic 8-ball if you've never taken one of those apart. I don't recommend it. The blue ink stains everything, including skin. All right, so there's where you would put your values if you want them. Basically, we just want to have something that will randomly print something. So treat it like a magic 8-ball. All right, ask your question. Okay, grab the whole thing. And then to get a response, we just print out one of those. So we're inside mag8 bracket. And in order to do random, I'm just going to get a random number. So rng.next int, and then it's however big mag8 is. It's going to randomly print one of those, and it will randomly spit it out. Okay? Again, you would need to come back here and need the phrases. And those are well published on the internet, so if you want those, you're welcome to it. But this is just to save a response somewhere, and then it's going to spit out something. Okay? That's it. Have a good one. One last thing, forgot to run them, so let's do a quick test of these. Okay, counts the number of elements, first letters, how many end in an E, how many total characters for all the words, 2 length and 7, words with an E, 4, at least 1 O, and then, you know, okay, no, because I didn't set up any messages, but it allows them to ask the question. All right, thank you.